Hello, I'm Meg Salyer, and I represent Ward 6 on the City Council. I want to welcome everybody today, and we have a really wonderful program in store. Oklahoma City, for the first time, has Teach for America teachers in a number of our schools throughout the I-89 district. And so with me today is Lance Tackett, who's the Executive Director for Teach for America, Oklahoma, and then two of our absolutely amazing young teachers. Matt Bjork is a core member, and he's at Bodine Elementary School this year, and Carolyn Jones is at Edwards Elementary. So you all have such a treat to work with these young kids every day. I thought before we get into some specifics about school, Lance, would you tell us a little bit about what Teach for America is and what you're doing in Oklahoma City?
Sure. First, excited to be here. Thanks, Meg, for inviting us. This is our first year here in Oklahoma City. We've been in Tulsa for the past 3 years, but Teach for America is a national nonprofit organization. And what we do is we are really a group of folks who are dedicated to closing the achievement gap in the United States. So we are building the movement of leaders in the effort to eradicate the inequities that exist currently in education. So what we do is we recruit, train, and develop top leaders from around the country to come and teach in a rural or urban setting for at least 2 years, and then kind of take that experience that they have of successfully teaching kids, mostly from low-income backgrounds, and kind of using that experience to foster their leadership long-term. You know, becoming fierce advocates for kids growing up in poverty, for families, really making sure that every child has the opportunity to get an excellent education.
But career paths may not just be in education. They might be in other fields.
That's right. The vast majority do stay in education. So we have about 2/3 of our 30,000 alumni stay in education.
Oh, how
but
wonderful.
We have, people who are getting elected to, state senates, who are superintendents, who are starting schools. So we're excited to see a lot of our teachers stepping up into leadership positions and kind of fighting for, in the education system from different angles, I guess.
It's incredibly exciting, and the energy around what's going on is just huge. I had a chance to meet Matt previously, and so I'm going to jump in and ask you to just tell us a little bit about what's going on in your school. We talked early about, deliverables and how you're going to measure success and what you're seeing. So share with me just this last couple of months of experience.
Yeah, I've noticed some amazing things in my classroom. I teach special education at Bodine, so I teach 3rd, 5th, and 6th graders. And a lot of the times I think we have this idea in our mind that because students are in special education that they can't achieve as great as a kid that's in a general education classroom. But I found that's not true at all. My kids are growing at an amazing rate. Like with their reading growth, like my class average, we've already grown a year class average wise. We're not even, we still have a lot to go. And their goal is 2.5 years of growth this year. And I really believe that if not all of them, then most of them are definitely going to hit that.
Yeah, that's incredibly exciting. 2.5 years in a year is just fantastic.
Yeah, but they've really rallied around it. And I catch my kids all the time reading outside, reading at lunch. It's just an amazing thing.
I'd love to hear that. I catch my kids reading.
Yeah.
Darn it.
Yeah, exactly.
I said, this is embarrassing, but I was the one that used to take a book out onto the playground and sit while everybody else was doing something and work my way through. I think I read James and the Giant Peach cover to cover during a lunch period once. So one of my favorite things. You would have caught me reading too. Carolyn, tell me a little bit about Edwards Elementary School. What grade do you teach and what are you seeing in your students?
I am the pre-kindergarten teacher at Edwards Elementary, and my little Einsteins, that's our class theme, they're so smart. They amaze me every day with their willingness to learn and all the things that they want to learn. They tell me all the time, Miss Jones, we know that, let's do some more. And I'll say, okay, let's keep learning. What else can we do? Like right now, our class average, we know 18 uppercase letters and 17 lowercase letters. We're working to know all our sounds, counting to 100, and they love it. They enjoy learning. We have a party in class every day, just learning and pushing my kids, and they push me to be better, and I push them to be better. We just have a great time at school. They love it, and I love teaching them.
Oh, it's so exciting. Now, Oklahoma as a state is a leader in early childhood education, and to be able to begin to introduce really high expectations in these pre-K classes is going to show results, I'm convinced. And do you feel like you can see it already? Are you?
I do believe so. Oklahoma City, this is our first year actually implementing full day pre-kindergarten, and I think it is probably one of the best things that we could have ever done as a city, because it offers you so much more time to work with students and actually see them grow and push them academically and socially and emotionally, and those are three things that are very important for 4-year-olds to develop before they go into school. And when you have high expectations, they're able to have a very high academic self-esteem, a very high academic self-concept, and they think they're smart, they know they're smart, they want to prove that they're smart, and high expectations is the only way that you can do it.
Exactly. Smart is suddenly cool again.
It is.
And it's so important that they know and understand that. Carolyn, you went to Langston
Yes,
University,
I
I
did.
saw. And
Yes.
Matt, where did you go?
I went to Brigham Young University in Utah.
Great. And did either of you have Teach for America as a plan? Did you, through college, did you know this was something you wanted to do, or how did you stumble across it?
Well, I learned about the achievement gap probably my junior year of college. And when I found out that really where you're born, like what zip code you're from, is basically like whether you get a great education or not. And that angered me, like as a person, and I just felt like in a country where, I mean, I believe we're the greatest country on earth, but we shouldn't be leaving like these kids behind. And so I learned about that. It motivated me, and I immediately tried to find out all I could about teaching, about Teach for America, and applied. Luckily, I was accepted, and I've just loved it.
Excellent. It's an incredibly rigorous application process. Can you tell us a little bit about how young people get involved with Teach for America?
Yeah, so we recruit proactively from about 500 top universities from across the country. Last year we had roughly 50,000 people apply to Teach for America and accepted close to about 4,800. So it is a rigorous process. It's probably goes over about a month and a half of interviews, and there's a series of things you have to do. So certainly not for the weary. And they go through an intensive training program. Both teaching over the summer, just pedagogy, learning theory, everything you can imagine, really packed into an intensive 5-week program. The days go from 5 a.m. to midnight. I mean, it really is an intensive, but
Sometimes longer.
but we're excited, and I think we're excited that we're actually bringing one of the training institutes to Oklahoma. It's actually going to be housed in Tulsa, so we're excited about that. We're excited to work with local education departments, work with our local schools, and kind of start sharing best practices, because we in Teach for America, we see ourselves as part of a larger community effort. And certainly we know that we are bringing in one very strong talent pipeline into the education system, but we know there are a lot of other amazing people dedicated to this effort as well. And so we're excited again just to be here in Oklahoma City and to be part of the effort, and just believing for every one of our kids, and seeing the potential in all of our students. So, we have a long way to go, but I think we're starting to see, just like they've both mentioned, a lot of successes.
You started out by saying that you're a nonprofit. How are you funded, and can people that are watching and are interested help?
Yeah, so we are not a government program. I think a lot of times that's kind of a big misconception, and we're nonprofit. So most of our contributions come from corporations, individual donations, from foundations. So if there are folks who want to help us recruit, train, develop more leaders, like Matt and Carolyn, certainly they can reach out to me. They can go to teachforamerica.org, go to the Oklahoma portion of where we work, and find my contact information, and we're excited to partner with more folks in the community to bring in more leaders into Oklahoma City.
Fantastic. Well, I've had the opportunity probably to meet 10 of the teachers, and I just come away so exhilarated and excited. It's a fantastic program, and we have 50 teachers in our school system this year, and I think I saw a headline that we were going to be able to add some more next year.
Yeah, so we are actually adding 75 additional core members to Oklahoma City next year, 70 going to Oklahoma City Public Schools. So we're excited to more than double just our size here.
Incredibly exciting opportunity. Talk about things like parental involvement. Are you seeing the parents get engaged as you're engaged with their kids?
Yes, I have the most wonderful set of parents for my kids. They're just always involved. They're always asking, what can I do? How can I help my child? What do I need your help with? How can I be more involved in our school community? And I'm the same way. How can I help you? What is most important for your child to get out of this educational experience? Let's make these goals together for your child, and let's work together to reach those goals, because I've learned this year that having that strong parent and school relationship, having that strong parent and school commitment is what really helps our kids grow, because they're getting support and encouragement from home, they're getting support and encouragement from school, and they understand and they know that their teachers and their parents or guardians love them, support them, and truly want to see them reach their highest heights and reach their best.
Well, it's so critically important, particularly in our I-89 district, where I think the numbers are something like 97% of our students are on free and reduced meals. We've got some challenging demographics, and we can't let that be an excuse. And that's exactly what I'm hearing you all say, is
absolutely.
that if you can spend the time and create these expectations and create a dialogue with parents or guardians, we can really make a difference.
Yeah, and I think, so often we hear folks say, well, maybe it's the parents, they're not involved, they don't care as much. I have never met a parent who doesn't love their child, right? I have never met a parent who doesn't want the absolute best for their child. And so I think we, as educators in the education system, need to take a hard look at, what are we doing, and are we really holding high expectations for every single student? Are we bringing in families? I think sometimes maybe our parents didn't have a good, kind of experience in schools themselves. And so how are we making schools more accessible to our parents and our families? And definitely I think the work that I've seen our core members do has been pretty inspiring in terms of working with parents and communities.
Great. Well, and I love the additional sort of outreach into the community, that this isn't just
It's essential.
in your school, come and go, but it actually, and have you found Oklahoma City to be receptive to your work? And
Absolutely. I think I actually chose to come to Oklahoma City because I heard that it was a great community. People are always helping each other out, and that's what I've noticed. Like, I really, like Lance said, like parents get busy, and like some have, a lot have things going on, and if you don't take that time to really invite them and really reach out to them and say, like, we need to be a partnership.
Yeah.
Like, let's be a partnership together, because we're not going to be able to achieve our class goals without your help. And that's the absolute truth. I realized that right away, that we were not going to make huge gains if we didn't have the parents on board as well.
Exactly. Well, one of the things I remember at our dinner, I asked everybody how they chose Oklahoma, or how they came to Oklahoma, and I think most of them said we didn't. we got assigned here. But the general feedback was, I think, what most everybody finds. I'm from New York originally, and I wouldn't trade living in Oklahoma City for anything. It's an incredibly rich community. We're at a very exciting time in our own history, where just I think the pace of change and momentum and excitement is so strong that I know how much time you're all spending in the classroom, but I also hope you have some time to fall in love with this great city and spend some time out and about.
Yeah, and it's exciting. I think at this point, Teach for America is the #1 importer of young professionals into the city. We've been, in Oklahoma for 3 years now, and we've already seen some of our core members have bought homes. We actually have a couple marriages from within the core, and people really, feeling very comfortable in that home in Oklahoma.
Great.
So it's been exciting.
Well,
It's just
we
been an amazing
welcome you
experience.
so much. We're so grateful for what you're doing to help close that incredibly unfortunate gap that has existed for a long time. So I want to thank you all for taking the time to come. Lance, I know you had to come over from Tulsa this morning, so thank you for driving over in the rain, and we're just very, very appreciative of everything you can do, and I hope you will call on me and call on the city to help in any way we can. So thank you all for being here. I'm really grateful.
Thank you so much.